Hello, beautiful ones. This is Christina here. Well, I'm going to be doing something that I've never done before. And it's partly because someone has asked me, actually, a few people have asked me in the past about different videos. Out there where I have a ghost, or there's a ghost in me, or any kind of like paranormal videos. They've asked me what I thought about them. Are they real? Do you pick up on anything? What is your opinion? So I thought, well, this could be interesting. Maybe I could do something different. I don't really know if there's anybody out there doing this, but I thought, why don't I do a review and a reaction? And you know what? Who knows? Who knows what else will come about? Being an intuitive and a metaphysical practitioner, for me, the metaphysical world is very much part of who I am and my daily life. Yes, I exist in the physical world, but I also am conscious and aware of the metaphysical world. So, and my work really is doing healing work and clearing work and intuitive work, whatever that may be. So I attract sort of a wide range of customers, or I should say clients really, to what it is I'm doing. Here, I want to do something different. So what I decided to do is type in, I have a ghost, and see what comes up. And there are tons and tons and tons of videos, so I could probably do this forever. And there's always new ones being added. And I'm going to take a look at them. I'm going to give my honest review. I'm going to give my honest reaction. I have not watched them before. I've just sort of clicked on them to see if it's a story that is a real story, or is it more of a prank, which seems to be, kind of common out there as well. That's why someone actually asked me, is this real? And I'm not going to say that I will know for sure 100%. It's whether or not I start feeling things outside of the physicalness. If I start picking up on energies, or, because your body knows. And if you're aware, you'll be able to tune in to the energies, the frequencies, the presences that are around you. So that's basically how I'm going to base this on. Okay? So I don't know how it's going to go. Let's see how it unfolds. And it is for entertainment purposes, but at the same time, it's actually very real to me if I'm picking up on what's real. Okay? I do not know any of these YouTubers. I may know some of them that I come across later on, but I don't know them. And the first one, I just picked up one that I was drawn to. And the first one is, let's see who this YouTuber is. Kathleen Lights. Oh, I like that. I don't know her. Looks like she's doing well, so shout out to her. And just know that this is just my own reaction to whatever it is you're going to share with us on the video. So let's get started and see what happens.
Channel. But I absolutely felt the need to film this video because I really want your guys' opinion. I want to know what the hell you guys think this is. I feel like I know what it is. I feel like it's very clear, but there are so many people in my life who tell me it's just dust. I mean, the majority of the people who are telling me this are earth signs.
Oh, I'm an earth sign.
And they're non-believers. I even had a Capricorn tell me it was smoke. Smoke was more believable to them than an entity of, oh my god, I'm getting so ahead of myself. Let me explain. Before I show you guys what I caught on camera, or what I think I caught on camera, I gotta tell you the backstory. There is a whole story that I gotta tell you before I show you this video, because then it might not make a lot of sense. So take a seat, grab some popcorn, grab some wine, because we're about to talk some freaky shit. Not like sex freaky, that sounded weird. I meant like, like spirit freaky. So like I said, I never thought I would ever make a video like this, but it wasn't until I think I caught something on camera that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to show everybody online because I want to see if there are people who agree with me. And normally I would dismiss something like this, but there were just too many weird things that were leading up to this video. Now, obviously, you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it. These are just stories I'm telling you, and stories that people have told me from being in my house. So I'm sure there's gonna be comments from a ton of people telling me that they don't believe me, that I am just making up stories for this video. I am not lying, and I believe the other people in these stories now, and I honestly have no reason to lie. And like I said, the only reason I am uploading this video is because I got video footage, I think. So to understand, I gotta start at the beginning. Now, I know I'm an Aquarius with a Scorpio moon, so naturally I'm into the paranormal, I'm into aliens, I'm very spiritual, I love learning about the other side, I'm very into it. I am very open to everything. So yes, that's very Aquarius-y and very Scorpio-y of me. But as you can see by my birth chart, I have a lot of planets in Capricorn. So therefore, I am extremely skeptical about a lot of things. I honestly don't believe anything anybody tells me ever. It's actually really sad and really bad, and I need to work on that. So when friends and family started telling me that they were like hearing things in my house, I was like, because I personally had never experienced anything like that. To be fair, I have never in my life experienced anything like that. That's why I'm shocked that I'm sitting here right now. I can't. Ever since I was a little girl, I always had friends who would like feel things and tell me that they would see things, and I never understood it because I never saw anything. I've never seen a spirit, and although I never experienced anything like that, I always knew other people did. I've never been a skeptic about like spirits and the spiritual world. I mean, that's just what I believe. You guys believe whatever you want, but I definitely believe it's.
Just let me say something quick here. She probably doesn't have memory of seeing anything, because really we come in more conscious and more able to see things. Our third eye actually is open, when we come in. And so we do have the ability to see the metaphysical world. Now, she could have had, and a lot of times what happens is that if there's something that's really scary or there's some kind of trauma, different things could happen. Especially if you shared it, because I can remember when I started sharing, because I used to talk to and play with the fairies or the beings out in the garden or different beings that happened to be in the house. And I remember my mother telling me at 10 years old, stop it. Your grandmother doesn't like it. And I was like, and I could still kind of see that. And I think at that moment, I kept everything to myself. And then the third eye starts to kind of close down because of things like this, the outside world. And so she may not remember, but I'm sure that she had some experiences.
It's real, and that spirits are a thing, and that people see them, and I believe them. I believe people see them. I've never had that experience, which, by the way, I am very grateful for. Thank you. Well, until the other night.
Nothing to be afraid of.
So I moved into my house a couple years ago, and I am the first owner of this house, and you would think that you would be safe from the entities, but no. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
That is true, what she's saying. I'm not sure if she understands why she's saying that. Even if your house is brand new and no one has lived in it, it doesn't mean that it's clear underneath it, right? Because the land has a history, and we're talking eons of history. So who knows? Everything is energy, and for whatever reasons, things can become stagnant or stuck or whatever it may be. So that's, it's true that even if it's a brand new house, it doesn't mean that it's pure and pristine. And the other thing is too, when the house was being built, there's workers, there's different people, maybe even the new owners. Who knows what's going on? And I know what I'm saying is true because we do, my partner with I that do pristine space, where we clear houses, mostly for realtors or maybe businesses. And a lot of those houses, even some of the brand new ones, right, or ones that are not, either way, if there's been anybody in the house and if there's been any kind of tension or arguments or disagreements or whatever, that energy can get stuck. in the wall. So even if it's a brand new house that they're putting up, or your own thoughts that you bring with you. So, it's so multidimensional and there's so much there. So you cannot say that a house is pure and pristine and clear of anything. It may be that it has very little in it, which is a good thing, but if you move into a new house, still have it cleared and blessed if you want.
And whatever, it's been great. Love my home, fabulous. A few months into living here, Danny's stepsister and Danny's stepmom started to notice things. They have always been really intuitive people, and they've experienced things like this in the past. They started to tell me that they were hearing like a girl in my house, and that actually never went away. It didn't happen all the time, but every once in a while they would tell me that they would hear certain things and that it never felt bad, but that there was something here. And most of the time, every time they would hear something, it was coming from upstairs. So whatever, I didn't think anything of it because as long as I felt okay and I didn't feel like it was bad, I didn't mind. Then one day I'm in California and I travel to LA a lot for work, and whenever I am in LA, Danny's dad always comes and stays the entire time and takes care of the dogs, and he like house sits and dog sits. And one day I got home from a trip and he was telling me he was inside Danny's office, which Danny's office is on the second floor, right next door. He was telling me he was in Danny's office, like on the computer, and all of a sudden, the lights started flickering on and off, like a bunch of times, and he flipped out. And let me tell you, he is a very, very strong, brave Aries. Very rarely is he ever fazed by anything, and he flipped out. But we blamed it on electricity. We're like, oh, maybe the light is messed up in the room, we have to fix the bulb, whatever. There's always a logical explanation for all these things, of course. Then, this is the one that gets me. This is the one that really gets me. Danny doesn't believe, he really just doesn't believe in like ghosts or anything like that. And one day he's here by himself with his dad in his office. And I had left to go get us Pollo Tropical, which is like a fast food restaurant here in Florida. And I'm at Pollo Tropical and I call him and I'm like, hey, what do you want? He tells me his order, he tells me his dad's order, I hang up, whatever. When I walk into my house, like 20 minutes later, Danny is like pale white. He's like standing in the kitchen. And even Otelio is like freaking out. And I'm like, oh God, what the fuck now? So Danny and Otelio were in his office and he said that he heard the dogs walking around in front of our bedroom. Let me actually paint a picture for you so you know what I'm talking about. My second floor is small. It just has the bedrooms. When you come up the stairs, when you make a right, my bedroom is right there and it has like this little balcony area where you can see to the first floor. And then if you make a left, you see like my beauty room and Danny's office or whatever. He heard like the dogs walking around in front of the bedroom, like rocking in circles, like if they were like playing with someone or chasing someone. And then they said that they heard my voice. They said that they heard a girl talking to the dogs and playing with the dogs, but it was faint and they couldn't really tell what it said, but it sounded like a girl and it sounded like she was playing with the dogs, and it was just for like a few seconds. And Danny says that he would have just let it go, like, oh, something I'm hearing, but it's the fact that his dad heard the exact same thing. They both looked at each other and freaked out because it sounded like me, like it sounded like there was a girl in the hallway, but they knew I had just hung up the phone on them and I was at Pollo Tropical.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop because see, this what happens with me is that if you're sharing something with me, like when with a client, you start telling me stuff, and then I start picking up on things or I start feeling things. So I'm already sensing as she's talking about. First of all, with the animals, we know that animals have, extrasensory senses. Like they can sense presences and they can see, especially cats. Cats are, one of the mystics of the world. So right away, if her doggy is reacting, then there is something there. And what I'm feeling in my being right now is that, and it doesn't matter when this video is, just so I can put this out there to people who are not aware of this, that there really is no time and space, and that things all really take place in this moment. So if I'm tuning into this, for me, this is happening right now, even if it was whenever this was, June 14th, 2019. So I'm still picking up on that because that still exists to some degree in consciousness. Okay? So for me, it is a current experience. And what I'm feeling a little bit of heaviness in the sense of that this is more likely a discarnate being. Excuse me, that you could call a ghost as opposed to a spirit, because a spirit really is someone who did cross over when they left the physical body. They crossed over, they went through the tunnel, they went to the other side, But a ghost is someone that did not, that is still bound to the earth. And there is a multitude of reasons for that. Okay? I'm not going to get into that right now. I might talk about it in other videos or in the moment if I pick up on information. So right now I'm already feeling this little girl is a little girl that is still earthbound.
God, so there was no way I had gotten home in 2 minutes. And as they're telling me this story, I'm just looking at Danny like, are you serious? Like, I couldn't even believe it. Danny would never, Danny has a logical explanation for everything. And at this point, I'm like, okay, clearly there's something here, something's going on. But as long as I know it's nice, this on Twitter, I would put up the screenshot. She said, Mama, está aquí en tu casa. She was actually at my house. She lives like 3 blocks away from me. And I had left my house, but I hadn't returned yet. And she texted me, hey, are you here? And I was like, not yet. And she said, oh my God, Mama, yo te escuché aquí. Oh my God.
She heard her
I
here.
just heard your voice here. She wrote, hace rato, fíjate que Danny bajó ahora y yo pensaba que estabas con él en la oficina. She pretty much says when Danny went downstairs and she realized Danny was by himself, she freaked out because she thought she heard my voice. Like, she thought she heard us talking to each other in the office. And I wrote, LOL, nope, I'm not home. That wasn't me.
Okay. Something I want to say, and this is just my intuitive sense, is that this little girl, and I think the reason what she's doing, she's mimicking Kathleen, is it? Oh gosh, let me, sorry. Oh, Kathleen. Yes, Kathleen, mimicking her voice. Now, as you know what, just because she is not in the physical anymore and she's in between worlds, if you want to say, she's still a little girl. And a lot of times, in my understanding and teachings, is that some of them don't recognize, especially children, that they actually have passed away. Or some of them do, and they don't want to leave, and whatever. They still might think this is their home. Or I don't know if there was a home there before. It depends on how long ago this was. It could be 100 years ago, this little girl. So what I'm feeling is that this little girl is mimicking because she still wants. You see, they have a different perspective on the other side of this dimension, if you want to call it. So, and I believe that they have a sense, or they can tell when someone like Kathleen or us, still in the physical, whether we have an awareness of them. I guess because if we have a response to it. Whether we're afraid or react or we start talking to the air, or saying things because, oh, is that a ghost? So they have that awareness that you have the awareness. So I'm feeling that this little girl is mimicking Kathleen because really Kathleen, it is her home. This is her space. And she's tuned in to her energy and her frequency. So that is what she's doing. And I don't know, maybe she's being a little mischievous. As children are.
She's like, yo te oí clarito que entraste era tu voz. Like, I heard you in the other room. So that shit really freaked me out because that's like the second person to tell me that it sounds like me, which is really weird. But anyway, so then that happens and it makes me start to pay attention to my surroundings a lot more. Let me explain something about Porter. Porter never leaves my side. Porter's literally right in front of me, curled up in a ball. I mean, all the dogs are. But even when needy Yorkies, and I started to notice that when I would edit my videos and my door was open, he would just start walking up and down the hallway like a little crazy dog in circles, like if he's chasing someone or following someone. The more that I notice this, it doesn't happen every single night, but it starts happening like 2 to 3 times a week now, and I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he walking in circles out there in the hallway? It's so weird. So I start to watch him in the cameras, right? I'm like looking at him through my cameras. I have a camera that sits right on top of the hallway, and I'm actually gonna play this for you just so you can see what I'm talking about. See, this was on May 28th. Okay, the room at the end of the hallway where it has like that chair, that's Danny's office, and he's currently in there, like in this, when you're watching this video, he's in the office and he's playing Xbox, and I am in my beauty room, which is the room that's shining bright, and I'm sitting there and I'm editing a video. And as you can see, Porter, he's just like walking around. But I don't know if you notice, he keeps like smelling the ground, sniffing the floor, and then like looking at something. And you can see here, when he goes down the freaking hallway, okay, look at him, look. It's gonna happen right now. He passes the door, and he stops. He looks around, which is crazy because all there is a freaking chair. And then he comes back, and notice him how he's about to like go into my room or go into Danny's office, but then he curves around and he comes back. And then he like looks back. It's very strange. He never does this. I would be like, oh, he's like walking around the hallway. It's not that serious, but he never freaking does that. I'm watching him in the cameras and I'm like, okay, I think something's there. Even though I can't see it, I can't feel it.
Actually, you can kind of see it, and this is what I love about digital cameras, videos. They are great for picking up interdimensional activity. I mean, you can take interdimensional pictures, and if you understand that, you know, if you're in tune and, you know, open, you can really ask if there are presences around and things like that. You know, if you want to take pictures and so that they'll show themselves in whatever way. You can take great interdimensional pictures. But digital, that's definitely what digital cameras do. That they pick it up. But you can see in this one, as the doggy walks, and then when he turns around, becomes transparent, because what I'm seeing and feeling is a portal there. So there is an opening in this space. This is why there's all this activity. And so this is probably where, and I can feel that as I say that, you know, my body's giving me goosebumps because I'm speaking truth, is that this is an entry point, in and out, in and out. So you probably, that's where, if you were, I mean, if you have a camera there, go back and look at it, you know, and you'll probably see things enter and leaving or whatever.
I finally became a full-blown believer the other night. Oh my God. All right, so this story, this one's crazy, and I can't believe it's coming out of my mouth. I can't believe, who am I? So it's a typical night here at my house. It's just me and Danny home. Whenever I'm editing at night, Danny's always right across the hall, and I go downstairs to the kitchen and I open my phone and I start telling a story. I think I'm telling my sister a story. I forget who I was talking to, but I was recording myself, and I was cracking up. Like, the story I was telling, I thought it was so funny, and I was legit, like, laughing my ass off as I'm telling the story. Then as I'm telling the story, I walk into my living room, and you can see the upstairs from my living room downstairs, because like I told you, I have that little balcony area, that little balcony hallway area in front of my bedroom. I'm downstairs, and I walk into the living room, and I'm, like, laughing, and when I'm done laughing, I shit you not, I hear this. I swear, just like that. just like that. Just like that. And I heard it coming from that area right upstairs. I have like a mini panic attack, and then my initial reaction is to look up to see who the hell is laughing at me or laughing with me. And when I look up, I don't see anything. And I'm really trying. I'm like, show yourself, whore. I'm looking, I don't see anything. So immediately my logical mind is like, bitch, you are hearing things. And I go to walk back into the kitchen, and when I walk into the kitchen, I heard the upstairs crack, like if somebody was walking on the wood. In that same area that I heard someone laughing. I heard, like, while I'm editing my video, I see Porter leave the beauty room, and he starts doing that thing again. Walking around in circles. And something tells me, like, okay, you need to look at your cameras, because, like, you heard something 5 minutes ago. Like, I know you're telling yourself you're crazy, but just go look at the cameras. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this, because I cannot believe that this even happened. Okay, so I go to look in the cameras, and I'm watching him, and right as I'm about to, like, exit so that I can start screen recording on my phone, because I look at the cameras through my app, and right as I'm gonna exit so that I can start screen recording, something tells me, like, no, just keep watching the camera. Like, I dismiss the thought of screen recording. I'm just letting myself see what the hell's going on live, whatever. In that exact moment, I couldn't have been watching the camera for more than 2 minutes. Like, I never sit there for hours watching the camera. Like, whenever I go to see what the hell Porter is doing, I'm watching for like a solid 3 minutes max. What appears to me, now I could be freaking crazy, I catch what appears to me to be a floating orb.
Which is a being.
Like,
That's how it appears in physical.
Nowhere. It appears out of thin air, and it kind of like glides across the screen, and then disappears right in front of my bedroom door. It starts like at the edge of the balcony, and it just like trails into like my bedroom, and you can kind of see like the little trail behind it, like this, like, that's a little orb. That's like, that's not.
Well, that's not that little.
Body soup. And so, okay, you can imagine, I just see this live in front of me, like on the cameras, I run into the hallway, into Danny's office, and I'm like, you need to rewind the cameras right now, because I'm pretty sure I just saw something on the cameras. So Danny rewinds the cameras on my app, and then I screen record it. And me and Danny start examining this video, because when I tell him, he's like, sure, you saw something on the cameras. Okay, you saw something on the cameras. And then when he rewinds it and he sees it, he's like, nah, that's dust, that's dust. But I feel like it's too big to be dust. It's just like it's too weird to be dust. And so Danny starts like zooming in and slowing down the video, and immediately he's like, oh my, I think you did catch something. I can't believe it. I'm gonna play this video for you, and I want you guys to be honest with me, because I'm honestly open to anything. If it is dust, okay, shit, it's dust. Good, great. But I want you guys to look at this with an open mind and just imagine it. It's 3 seconds. I mean, like, the little orb doesn't even pop up for 3 seconds. It's like literally for a second. But the video that I'm gonna show you is only 3 seconds. Pay attention, because it goes by fast. So it's like in the middle of the screen. Okay, let me play it.
Oh,
did you catch that?
Yeah,
did you catch that? Okay.
Comes in.
I'm gonna play it again.
Yep. You can see where it comes in.
Okay, so we're going to dissect this right now. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to show you, because I spent all day watching this over and over and over and over and over again, zooming in, zooming out, because I wanted a logical explanation for it, but I can't find one. Okay, look.
You can't find one.
Watch it. Okay. Do you see how it just like comes out of nowhere and then disappears? Okay, let's see that again. I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna do it slow, just like that. Okay.
Kitty on me.
So
yeah, so it comes through the portal.
And you can see it has like the little trail, and it just like disappears right when it goes into my door. I'm gonna rewind it now, so you can see it's coming back. Do you see the little trail? And look, I'm gonna pause it right there. It's a perfect circle. It's like it legit appeared out of nowhere. What is that? How do you explain me catching that on camera? Like within 2 seconds of me jumping on the camera, like me and Danny were talking about this, and it's like, how many of these have we missed? We never sit there and like legit watch the hallway unless there's like a reason unless we feel we have to. And I just opened my camera, and within a minute, I saw that pop up, and I almost feel like I was meant to see that, because it's
exactly.
Everything has its
perfect and divine
10 minutes before I had caught that on camera, I was telling Danny that I heard someone laughing and that I heard footsteps, and he was like, and it's like, how can you not believe me if you literally heard somebody playing with the dogs? And then I catch this. I don't know what to say.
There's a lot of people's minds can't
so this one was all over the place. I didn't have any spooky sounds, but I don't have anything else to say. Like, this is my story. Did I catch Marisu on camera, or did I catch Marisu on camera?
Oh, she has a name,
But
Marisu.
after that happened, the next day I woke up and I became a crazy.
Actually, this might be interesting, because I'm not going to do it now, but I suppose that if I was to tune into this more, and if this little girl is still in this space, I don't know. I mean, she recorded this video, whatever that is, 3-4 months ago. And whenever that happened, unless you've had somebody come in and do a clearing, right? And not a blessing, because blessing doesn't cross over. A clearing, then she's may still be there. I don't know why you're calling her Marisu. It's the name you like, or that's what you just feel, but you never know, because she could have whispered it to you in your sleep. She could have said it to you at some point. So that may be her name. I don't know. I'd have to come and do an assessment more.
Person started researching how to help entities cross over and go where they need to go, so that they are no longer here. And I have saged. I have talked to her. I told her it's okay. It's time to go home. Look for the light. That's the end of this video, and that's pretty much the story about Marisu. It's been an ongoing story for the past 2 years now. I'm sorry I made fun of you, Stephanie. Sorry I told you no one would ever say hi in your ear like that. Sorry. Yeah, this is where the story ends. There will never be a part 2. I will never become a paranormal channel. I will not talk about these things on my channel. So I don't want you guys to get any ideas. I am not a...
Anyways, thank you for sharing that, Kathleen. And I don't know. I'd have to go research and see if you have done any other videos or not. Or, if you've talked about it. And that's okay if that's not something you want to have on your channel. It's things that people like to tune into, though. But if you're very serious about having your house cleared, and my feeling is that it's not completely cleared. See, some people think that you can just sage and cross people over. That no, that's just really about cleansing sort of maybe thick energies or around. That doesn't cross over souls. There's a little more to it. I actually work with a protocol that is specifically um, created and brought forth for that. But you have a portal there. You indeed have a portal there, which is an entry point. Now, there's a lot of portals that portals that are fine, that are just entry points for souls and beings to come through. And then there's other portals that can be quite dark just because of, maybe where it is or what's created, what is the past, what is the history, what has been done there, if you've had, kinds of different rituals or ceremonies or black magic, so it can create different type of portals. Portals are everywhere. Vortexes exist as well. It's a little different than a portal, but you indeed have a portal, and that's where it appears in your house. So that's a different thing, it's a different process to close a portal. So anyways, this was very interesting, and totally believe what's happening here. I can feel it. It's great that you captured some on video. That's the best thing to have. And there's people who can explain things away, and go right ahead. If your mind cannot grasp it, if you cannot even fathom that the world exists beyond this physical 3D space, then there's not much you can do. People have to find their own way, and in their own time, in their own awakening, and recognize that you are spiritual beings first and human beings second. That's your manifestation for your spiritual experience. So this is a real one. This is a real one. And you're quite a delight, Kathleen. And I can feel that, if you come to a place where you're not fearful about things, it doesn't mean that you don't have to be aware and conscious and recognize when there's things that are so-called darker, which really is just the shadow aspect of things that need to come to light. And I'm not going to get into that because that's very metaphysical, very esoteric. But just know that you're a great being and that your light can outshine things. As long as you recognize that nothing really can harm you unless you allow it or create it. So anyways, that's it for this. I hope you enjoyed my first review and reaction, and I think I can do more of these, and that they'll probably be quite enjoyable. I will, first I'll choose some ones that are hopefully not too dark, and hopefully real, right? So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. And check out Kathleen, because she sounds like a really fun and interesting YouTuber. Again, I apologize, I don't know her, but I'll go take a quick look and see what your channel's about. And thank you so much. I'm not monetized, so I am just doing this for entertainment and hopefully in some way educational. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video. Love and blessings.